Yeah, we're at Chatfield Reservoir here. This is where I do most of my, I guess, quality sessions or long stretches in aero. The roads are pretty safe and good shoulder, and for a race like Ironman Texas, it's pretty flat, so makes it a little easier to just get in and get the work done without having to worry about too many stoplights or traffic or anything like that. But yeah, today is Wednesday, so 9 days before the race. This is my last, I guess, full-on day. I had a hard swim this morning, and then 4-hour ride with some pretty good work in it, and then just a 10K run off at Ironman race pace. And then I have some higher intensity days on Friday and Saturday, and then we'll start to taper starting Sunday. So hotter races, I do a little bit of a shorter taper to carry some fatigue into the race and make sure that, usually I find that it helps keep the heart rate a little bit lower earlier on in the race. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, overall, I've bounced back fine from Oceanside. When you aren't able to race that hard, you recover pretty quickly, unfortunately. But I mean, Oceanside, I kind of went through that in another video, so no need to rehash that. But it kind of opened the season up and gave me a good glimpse of where a lot of people are at fitness-wise, and where the bar is at this stage for a 70.3. All of the Ironman Tour races are going to be that caliber of athlete, so it was good to see where everybody is at and how high the bar got raised in the off season, and now we got to figure out how to perform. Typically, I've done a little bit better in full distance races than I have in the 70.3. So I'm going into Texas with, I guess the same level of confidence that I always would be. It's been a course that's been really good to me in the past. It's been pretty brutal to me a couple times as well, but we're going for the pretty good again this year. Obviously, objective number one is getting the Kona slot, just kind of get that monkey off the back. That locks in the rest of the schedule for the remainder of the year. Definitely a big field in terms of numbers and in terms of talent. And that obviously changes the dynamics. Texas has always been a championships course, so the race unfolds differently than a non-championship race typically. Bigger swim, or bigger groups in the swim, means there's a bit more gap fillers, so there's a potential to be able to make that front group. Kind of in my ideal situation, I think a small group gets off the front rather than a big group of 10 guys get off the front. I think I have a good shot of being in that next group if a group of 5 or 6 are able to get away at the start. So I think that's kind of the best case scenario for me there. It's a flat course, so I'm really hoping for crosswinds, and really hoping that Race Ranger is working again, just to make it as clean and fair of a race as possible. That's what we all want. That's what the fans want. That's what the athletes want. And then just doing my thing on the run. There's a lot of good runners in the field, and it's going to be hard to, I think I've gotten off the bike with a 15-minute deficit there before and won by a fair amount. I don't think that's possible this year. So it's going to be being aggressive on the run, playing the game a little bit more than I've probably done in the past, and just seeing what we can make happen when it comes to the last lap of the run. So I've obviously changed the way that I build into these races as time's gone on, building off of experiences that I've had in the heat. Obviously, Texas is going to be a warm day, most likely, usually is, at least by the end. So you have to be prepped for that. And so typically for hot races, I carry a little bit more fatigue than I normally would into a cooler race. So I want to try to suppress the heart rate a little bit. And if I wash too much of that fatigue out and over taper, then it just tends to not go very well on the first couple hours on the bike for me. So that's something that I've changed. And so I had a really big day on Saturday. One of the bigger overall training days that I've done. Sunday was light, and then followed that up on Monday with a with a pretty big run again, typical kind of last long run that I do leading into a full, and then lighter day yesterday, big day on Wednesday today, and then tomorrow is actually a pretty solid day as well. Light day Friday, big day Saturday, then we'll start to taper off. I'll travel into the Woodlands on Tuesday, and then have a fair bit of work on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday are pretty easy. Heat prep wise, kind of a bit of unfortunate circumstances for me. The gym that we moved to with Coach Julie's group doesn't have a sauna, and then my normal gym, the sauna and steam room are down for maintenance for until May, which was not very helpful. So I had to kind of do it the old-fashioned way and do a lot of overdress stuff. So basically I try to get 12 sessions of over 90 minutes of making sure that the core temp is elevated to where I want it to be. So when you're doing heat prep, you want your core temp to be above 101 for 90 minutes. And so there's a couple different ways you can do it, obviously. The less scientific way is just to kind of watch your efficiency factor on with your heart rate. As your core temp goes up, your heart rate's going to go up. So if your heart rate to power or heart rate to pace ratio isn't where it normally is, then your core temp is getting up there. I've done a video with the core temp device that you put on like a heart rate strap, and I've used that a little bit to kind of dial in the heart rates that I need to be at, to kind of know where I'm at. And so it's sometimes I'm paying very close attention and being a little bit more specific about it. Other times I'm just making sure I'm uncomfortable and calling it good. Obviously things are a little bit different this year with a 6-week-old-ish, 5-week-old-ish right now, 6 by race day, and we're still a little bit on the fence whether or not Ash and Olivia are going to come and join us. I've been vetoed, so it's a good chance that they'll be there. Just a little worried with them traveling alone, but I'm sure it'll be fine. My dad and my sister are going to be there, so hopefully everything works out and travel for them goes smoothly. But yeah, it's looking like this will be the first finish line. Obviously, it would be a pretty special moment to be able to have her on the podium, even though she won't have a clue what's going on. I'm not sure she knows who I am yet, but we'll get there, hopefully. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Ash has always been able to meet me at this finish line. It's been a pretty life-changing race for us. That's where I went pro, first win, couple big wins after that, and so there's just always a bit more emotion, a bit more that goes into this race in particular. And hopefully we can leave a big part of myself on that course and see what it takes to be near the pointy end at the end. That's about all I've got for this time around. We'll have a video out hopefully right after the race or shortly after the race with the kind of final prep, and then obviously rundown of how everything went. Make sure you tune in to watch the race. The series are all available to be watched with pretty good coverage now, so make sure you tune in, and we'll see you after.